One of my favorite low-code builders for Airtable has just announced a ton of new features. We're going to be previewing them today as part of their feature week set of releases. So yeah, without any further ado, let's see what our favorite Irish team has come up with that is going to change our lives and save our marriages. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alex, and here on this channel, we are taking a look at anything and everything about low code, databases, automation, AI, and everything in between. Without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Now, I've been playing around with this for a few hours and I have a few thoughts. So first and foremost, let's take a look at the first big release, the first big feature, and that is top navigation. Navigation that is not on the side, that is like a website on the top, although a lot of websites have navigation on the side, but you didn't understand what I mean. Let's jump into settings. And by the way, I've created like a little demo portal here, Airtable based database, and just a Noloco front end. So the first feature that I want to showcase is the navigation settings. So now we have the ability to actually have top navigation, which is beautiful. It kind of like allows for more space. And if now you check this out, you see how my navigation bar has gone from being side-based to being like on the top. It's not absolutely perfect. There are things that are missing, but I feel like this is a very nice kind of like breath of fresh air. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's nice to have this option with Noloco because for years, it was always like on the side. Also, you can have drop-down menus. As you can see here, this is a settings navigation element, and now I have users and languages here. I hope that with the next release, we can also have something like a mega menu option, or at least the ability to build in, to kind of like make this more interesting. Because right now it's just a drop-down and it's a bit boring, but you know, it's cool. The next big, and I think this is the major release of this feature week, that is their overhaul of their builder, how you build stuff, and I think they've done a terrific job. Let me show you what I mean. So first of all, the little toggle switch that we used to have now has been transformed into this little switch that I can drag and drop and I can put it anywhere I want. It of course kind of sticks to the bottom of the screen, but it's still kind of nice to be able to manipulate this and actually take this wherever I want. It's cool. I like that. It's a little detail, but it shows attention to detail. So let's jump into the editor, and immediately you can see that a lot has changed. So just to put things into perspective, one of the most interesting things that I can see immediately that is going to really help my personal workflow when I'm building these portals is that they have introduced this accordion style drop-down. Maybe it was there before, but I don't feel like I've noticed this. This is now so much easier to navigate. And over on the left side, you have navigation options dealing with pages and with the page as you see it as a general thing. And on the right-hand side, you have the ability to edit the modules. Like when you select a module, let's say this particular header element, this is where you go and you edit all the settings. Previously, it was all on the left and it wasn't perfect. You constantly had this thing change states and shapes, and it was a little bit difficult, especially for newer users to kind of like get their heads around how that worked. But now you've got navigation options on the left, editing specific module parameters on the right. Fantastic. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've probably seen this somewhere, and I was having the same feeling. And yes, we have seen this before in Webflow. Webflow has a very similar, not exactly the same, of course, but very similar philosophy about how they deal with stuff. You have your sort of navigation options on the left, and then whenever you want to jump into a particular feature, like you can see here, you're selecting it and you've got all the settings and styles and whatnot on the left hand side. If you're going to copy somebody, copy or be inspired from the best. If Noloco is aiming to have their builder to be similar to what Webflow is doing, I'm all for it. Thank you. This this is really a step in the right direction. So the third feature that I want to talk about is a bit of a strategic move on Noloco's part, and that is the revamp of their tables or the management of data within Noloco. Let me show you what I mean. So let's jump into data, and I'm going to jump into languages. So we have a little bit extra, data to see. Now, isn't this super reminiscent of something like Airtable, something like an Excel, or kind of like a database management thing, maybe Supabase, something like that? It is. And I feel like Noloco is aiming to get as many people interested in using their own databases, Noloco tables. One thing that's still missing, I wish that they had introduced here immediately, which would have made this even more attractive as a solution, because sometimes, you get clients where they don't care where the data is stored. They just want to make sure that it plays ball, it's accessible, and it's easy to manipulate. So the one feature that I think is missing from this is the ability to have views. We can very easily hide this little data source thing, but if I could create views of this data, and you might argue, well, you can create views in your app. It's not exactly like that. If Noloco is planning to get this to work as a standalone database, and you can have an app as an afterthought or as an add-on, it would be great to be able to manage this in the same way like we can Airtable. Then that's a very interesting idea. But for now, even this, just the ability to kind of like perform a big copy paste or delete, or just really treat this as almost like an Excel, it's a massive thing. It's really getting me excited about the things to come in the short-term, long-term future of Noloco itself. So this was my quick review of the latest features that Noloco has just launched. Let me know in the comments below about what your thoughts and feelings are about this particular release. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to what's to come in the short-term future for Noloco. Can't wait to release this particular set of changes to especially the top navigation to some of our client portals, and see what some of our clients have to say about this. I think a lot of them will really, really, really appreciate this change, because it was really asked for by a lot of people. That's it for me. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.